What's up, coaches? Hope you guys are doing well. Here's our video for Tuesday. So we're going to be following along the same general lines as Monday. The goal is to have a very short general warm-up, good full body in nature. You can use the same guided warm-up that's posted at the top here to be the same as yesterday, or you can plug in a couple other movements if you like. Make sure you keep it short, 5 to 7 minutes, and full body in nature. We want to really focus on the squat as our centerpiece of the day. So let's get them in without any lengthy whiteboard talk or anything like that. Get them moving, and in 5 to 7 minutes begin to focus specifically on the squat. So let's dive in here to this specific warm-up. We have squat max prep. This is going to be 10 Cossack squats. This is going to be quick. So 10 Cossack squats, we want to hold for about 2 seconds on each side. We've been doing these a little bit in classes. So I'm going to be establishing a wide stance. I'm going to shift my weight all the way down and then shift my weight to the opposite side. What's important here is that squat mechanics are still in play on that side that you're shifting your weight to. So as I'm looking at this side, I have full foot planted, knee tracking over the toe. It's just like I would have if I were doing a squat. I've now just moved this leg. All right. So you can have athletes hold on to the cage if they need to help them sit back and keep that heel planted, or they can check their depth a little bit depending on the person. All right. Next we have the perfect stretch with reach. So the perfect stretch with reach is going to look like this. They're going to be doing 5 on each side. Preference here is just to do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. So they're going to reach through elbow to ankle and then open big. Reach through elbow to ankle and then open big. I'll do the same thing for 5 reps on the opposite side. The pigeon walk, that is going to look like this. They're going to establish a pigeon style pose. So I have leg ideally at about 90 degrees out in front, less flexible. We'll need to pull the heel into the crotch a little bit more. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside of the foot here, and I'm going to walk, driving my chest down, and then walk back. And I'm going to continue to walk over the course of 15 to 20 seconds. And maybe finding a sticky spot, hang out there for a couple seconds, and then continue to move. And I would switch sides, and now I'm going to go the pigeon walk on the other side. Okay? So pigeon walk, 15 to 20 seconds each side. Now the last piece of this specific warm-up is your addressing of the proper way to go about setting a 1 rep max attempt or a 5 rep max attempt. Meaning we want to have a ritual in the approach. We want to make sure we're focusing on a proper setup and using the breath, and then the execution of the lift. Here's what we're really getting into with this, is when they're going for a heavy attempt, it shouldn't be where they're having a conversation, okay, here we go, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this, all right, let's try it out, okay, so on, right? I have a very purposeful approach where I'm getting in, I'm getting myself underneath the bar, I'm stepping back, I'm using my breath, big inhale, set, and now I'm ready to go, all right? The ritual does not have to be the same for everyone, but we have to prepare the mind and the body for a tough task, and we need to do that with lots of focus, with aggressiveness, and then the purposeful breath for bracing, and then the proper execution of the lift. So I'm going to leave that to you guys on how you do that, all right, and the way you want to discuss that, but there needs to be an approach with intention, all right? I'm about to do some hard, heavy work. I need to get my body and my mind ready. I'm going to use the proper setup, and I'm going to use my breath to brace, and then I'm going to execute the lift properly, all right? Then we're going to establish a heavy but 100% perfect based on their track, 1 rep, 5 rep, or 10 rep max. Same general principles here. Athletes should be practicing very low volume and very high rest. Notice there's no clock put on this. We don't say in 25 minutes. we want to give people the remainder of the class, if they want, to set this. All right, I'll talk about the optional conditioning here in just a minute. So low volume, high rest. Competitor track, once 50% is passed, this means they're going for a 1 rep. Once 50% is passed, they never do more than a single rep. So they'll do the barbell maybe for 8 to 10 reps, then they do like 30 to 40% for like 6 to 8 reps. Then once they do 50%, maybe that's like 4 reps or so. Once they get past 50, all singles. All right, all singles. And it should be 5 to 7 building singles working towards that approach. Performance fitness, likely 2 heavy attempts. So that means that they're not going to be doing like 5 sets of 5. We want to keep the volume very, very low on the way up and make sure they do their first working attempt above their previous 5 rep max. We don't want them spending a lot of energy, all right, building up to their first heavy attempt, all right, and they get in there and their legs are tired, all right? So it should be very low volume. They do not have to do sets of 5 on their way up. We want them to be very, very fresh, warm, but fresh. And then that first heavy attempt should be an attempt above their previous 5 rep max, all right? Optional conditioning. So you're gonna have some that get to their 5 rep maxes very, very quickly. For those newer athletes, maybe they're doing goblet squats, so on. Explain the optional conditioning before you start the actual squatting. All right, so likely after you've done the warm-up and the specific warm-up, you're talking about how to reach the maxes and so on. Throw in the optional conditioning in there and say, hey, if you set your max relatively quick and you like to breathe hard, you'd like to get some conditioning in, here's what your conditioning is, and you're free to pursue this on your own, all right? And I'm just gonna keep the clock running. So once I get started with the actual squatting attempts, then what I'm going to do is start the clock, and people are free to jump in on the optional conditioning whenever they like. All right? And they're probably going to come to you with questions and so on, but you'll be able to address that as needed. Cool. So hope you guys have a great day. Would love to see feedback on the last couple of days. I'm seeing a lot of like posts and stuff like that, but if you guys can send me feedback on how everybody's doing, I would really, really love that. Hope you guys have a good one. See ya.